We are in round 4 of the Vintage Power 9 Challenge, and we're playing Scabs. And Scabs is a name I am familiar with, but he's more of a legacy player. I've never actually seen him play in Vintage before. I don't believe, anyways. Um, so I have no idea what he's on. Doing a quick search, he plays a lot of Death and Taxes in Legacy, which could possibly put him on a white weenie deck, which is always a tough matchup for workshops. But yeah, let's see. As I'll take this opportunity to show you guys what I'm playing. My opponent's just away from keyboard for a minute there by the looks of it, but we're playing an Overseer Shops deck, and basically the idea behind this is it's a very low to the ground Shops deck that has an innate ability to fight the workshop mirror. One of the problems is that on Magic Online, a lot of people are running 2 to 4 main deck precursor golems in their workshop decks, not running Tangle Wires, and that made it almost impossible for me to run Tangle Wires. So we've had to take them out because Lord knows I've tried, you just can't compete with them. So today I have actually added in a couple precursor golems myself to mitigate that factor somewhat, and of course I've got a couple main deck metamorphs to copy worm coils and opposing worm coils, and I've got the Lord to pump up all my stuff. And so essentially the idea behind this deck is basically to get out early and fast. Well, hopefully they stall out before they can cast their big creatures, and my creatures become much bigger than theirs quite quickly. That's the idea behind it. And all the other stuff is just your run-of-the-mill stuff that you see in Ravager Shops, but in my sideboard I certainly am prepared as well. There's some tech that we saw from Raphael Farino at the Waterbury. Of course, I've played Porcelain Engineer many times throughout my life, but it is very good in the workshop mirrors. It does stop precursor golem. It's not profitable for them to attack or cars or things like that. And once again, it is low to the ground. So we've got a bunch of other workshop stuff here. We're definitely ready for the mirror, should we be facing it. So anyways, that's what we're playing today, and we're off to a pretty decent start at 3-0. And let's see where we're at here. The opponent's still not here, so. And opponents eating their clock up is not irrelevant in these type of if this is a mirror match, they can go very long, and time can become a factor, so I'll take it, but I will pause it until my opponent shows up if he does. Okay, so our opponent's here. I'm going to keep this hand against a blind opponent. I think it's pretty good. If it's a blue deck, setting Chalice at 1 is pretty awesome. If we're playing against PO, it's still solid at 0. So we're playing against Mentor, it looks like. I am going to set my Chalice out here at 1 and follow that up with a Revoker. I think that's probably the best line. I mean, if my opponent's playing like PO or something, I think it is not as good, but let's do it. And of course I'm flirting with getting hit with a Wasteland here too, but alright, so that's perfectly reasonable. I'm going to set this out on Jace Vryn's Prodigy. I think is a pretty common play from opposing players. Now of course it's very possible we get hit with an STP here, but that's fine. I'd rather them use it on my Revoker than my precursor golem. Yeah. So, fair enough. Now, if this is a Jace Vryn's Prodigy, it is really bad for us. Okay, nice Whisper, that's fine. So we're looking for a sphere here. We'd love a sphere. Okay. I think we just get precursor out, right, and start pounding away. I think that is just the correct line here. Another option is we could Wasteland and play Ravager. But we are playing against combo here, and I just think the best way to get this done is to get some pressure on him, and hopefully we draw Sphere next turn. And if we don't, we've still got a very strong presence. We've got Wasteland and a Ravager here. But you don't see Knight's Whisper very often, so I'm not sure what I'm playing against here. Oh, it could be just a Mentor, what we're going to see here. All right. So hopefully they have no removal, because that really sets us back. Like we would be rather resolve a Ravager before we start facing removal to make a big Ravager. But I think the ideal play for us this turn is to draw a Sphere of some sort, Lodestone Golem, Thorn. I think that's our best bet. I mean, this does present a very quick clock. There's no doubt about that. But without Disruption, I don't feel as good. Okay, Jason's Prodigy is a really good one here, but having the Ravager resolve, ooh, that's a great draw. And we're going to lead with the Ravager. And this gives us some insulation from the STP, should my Revoker not resolve. And there's a possibility, just the fact that my opponent's thinking about it here is indicative that he may have a play. Okay, and we're just going to Wasteland him. And I'm going to take him off the black source here. Okay. All right. Let's see, maybe an Ancestral. Could get a Hertz Recall here, would be very good. Recall, okay. Can't do much about that, but he'd have to draw incredibly well to get out of this somehow. All right, I'm not sure what my opponent is playing here. I mean, he's playing an Esper deck, that much is for sure. But I'm not sure if it's like Storm combo or, you know, Storm / Mentor type build. Really don't know. Excuse me for a moment. My gut instinct tells me that he's playing like combo Mentor, like a deck similar to what Desolutionist played in a couple challenges ago to very good results. I think I'll take out a Precursor Golem. A Precursor was very good there. Hi! So, sorry you missed the end of my sideboarding there, but I made a last-minute change here, and I'm not sure if it's right or not, but I really don't know what my opponent's playing, and I think there's a possibility that it is combo. So I've decided to side in a couple Ratchet Bombs against him, and I took out the 2 Precursor Golems. Or I guess I only took out 1 Precursor because I've got one in hand. Maybe I didn't even submit my list, I don't know. But I thought I sided both these out. But regardless, this is an excellent hand. We're going to keep it. It's unfortunate we're not on the play, but them's the breaks. But just even having Chalice, if I can ever get a Chalice set at 1, that's just so prolific. Like if my opponent has a very fair opener here, just a land pass, we could be all right. So, I mean, look, we could try and bait with a Chalice at 1, but I think just jamming the Trinisphere here is huge, and if we can get it in, I think we're probably alright to win the game here. Yeah, we did, so that's really great. And if we can rip a strip mine here, that would be amazing. Alright. That's a little bit awkward. Hurkyl's Recall is a very real threat. I'm going to set this down. I mean, you know, there's not much I can do against the Hurkyls in this situation, but it's reasonable. And I'll just lead out with Precursor here this turn. Fortunately, my opponent has lands, but like if this is a Mentor, I'm not even worried about it. Obviously, because I have a Ballista. Ooh, Serenity. Geez, that's a real nice one. Good for my opponent. Okay, Serenity does really hose me here. I'm going to be to 5 mana. I'm going to take one of his mana sources here, guys, and just pass turn. It's unfortunate, but great play from my opponent there. Serenity is a real card. Strip mine. Ooh, that's nasty. Yeah. But that's why we're low to the ground, guys. Let's see if we... Ancestral's rough here. So this one's slipping away a little bit, but there's not much we can do about that. I think I'm just going to play the Thorn here. This is certainly not ideal, guys. Yeah, my opponent really just got us so good there. I thought we had an incredible hand. And now he's got to have 7 cards in hand, and we're quite behind. I'm not sure whether to strip here or not. I think my opponent just has so much land. Like, us being able to draw land next turn is really huge. Like, if we rip a land and we can cast 2 things, it's great. And building up towards the Precursor is not irrelevant. So I'm glad I didn't waste. And like, he may not even be worried about Thorns here right now, but I think being able to gum him up somewhat is significant, and 2 Thorns are not irrelevant. Where this is really bad for is if he does have a Hurkyl's Recall. But, so my opponent may just be flooded here. Fragmentize. Oh, I'm good with that. He did get us pretty good with that strip mine too. Like, we're not out of this. Don't really want to see a JVP here. This is some Mox. Treasure Cruise, jeez. Alright guys, we'll get a Ravager in here. I'd prefer to revoke a relevant target. I mean, my opponent's got a lot of cards in hand. Hopefully he's just continuing to flood. Mentor, okay. So we're just playing Esper Mentor, it looks like here. No combo, just value. Serenity. Jeez, was that a beating. He's F6 here. I mean, if he's got something, there's not much I can do about it. I guess a workshop would be our best draw off the top here. Might be able to have the potential to ping this. Mentor is pretty huge. Okay, that's not the worst. Should we just do precursor home? It's got 4 cards, man. I'm just going to do precursor. I think precursor can close this up pretty quick. Tempted to go for it there, but that's all right. I'm not gonna. So it just got to dodge removal here. If he doesn't have removal, I think we got a good chance. Okay, STP is very solid. I can definitely make Ravager a lot bigger here, but I'm wondering if the life is just not more valuable to me at this moment. I'm just gonna let this happen. So you note that he's got a couple Fragmentize, a couple STPs. It's pretty good against Precursor. Yep. Maybe it was worth making a big Ravager. The problem with doing that is that, you know, if your opponent's got just another removal spell, you lose the value, right? Because he just hits your Ravager. So this is not ideal. We're gonna get, yep, Mind Break trapped. Okay, interesting. My opponent keeps trapping. So that's game. I'm going to work the clock a little bit here. I mean, we're completely dead. Sometimes these games can go pretty long. All right, so on to game 3. Geez, guys, we really got hosed by Serenity there. I think I'm going to bring in Wormcoil, and I think I'm going to bring in a Hanger back. We're not playing against Dak Faden, and these 2 cards are some insurance against Serenities. I think I just take out the Precursor here. Precursor is a lot better on the play, but we're just going to try and go long here. Ooh, that's an awkward hand. Can I possibly keep this? I do have the pump for the ballistas, but I don't really feel like this is a hand that can beat Mentor. That's the problem. Like, what do I do here? Turn 1 Factory Mox into a Ballista? Then I get Force of Will the following turn on my Revoker. I can strip. It's got good mana. I'm going to molt this, guys. Super tough decision. Strip mine is really good, but if he just goes off on me like it's really bad. This is pretty bad. I got to keep this. And unfortunately, I do believe I have to play the Sphere. Oh, what a great scry. So let's try and jam the Sphere here. If this resolves, I feel pretty good. If not, I could be in a lot of trouble. Great. Strip mine doesn't even faze me. If he plays it now, that is. I mean, this is, with the Severe being in play, it's pretty good. Five mana. Can only cast one thing. I feel like we just get the Overseer in. But then again, we could be pumping Hangerback Walkers next turn. It's tough. Really do want to start a beatdown. So this is great. If he strips here, I feel awesome about it because the likelihood he's running in a 3-color deck, Wastelands, is not great. And he is now definitively behind. So I'm gonna play the Overseer here. Hopefully just putting stuff out of range for him. And we'd love to draw land next turn. I mean, that's exactly how we drew it up, right? Like, hopefully, if he does have the Miser, strip mine. All right, so he's got the Mox, which is great. So we could be seeing the list is quite strong here. I'm not going to get the Blist in because if we get hit with a Serenity, I'd much rather have this in play. Hopefully it resolves. Not the worst, guys. I mean, look, at STP gets rid of Hangerback, no problem, but so our opponent has had a reasonable draw. Like, he's got a lot of lands, which is good in this situation. Could be seeing a Serenity here, but we've played around Serenity to some extent. Fragmentize. Okay. Yep, that does work. Not happy about that. Okay. It's a good draw. Oh, my question is, do we just get in here? Like, do I hit him for 5 damage or for 3? Or is the Thorn just where we want to be? Like, disrupting these Mentor decks is not insignificant. I think I'm just going to hedge my bets here and play the Thorn. But then again, I'm going to play the Thorn here. So we're floundering a little bit here. You know, Ravager would be a good draw too. But I think we're really looking for Mentor. Okay. Land? Oof, that's pretty rough. See, getting this in here, this doesn't help us that much. Yes, it slows his Mentor play down. Like, he didn't play a land last turn. But it takes me that much farther off of casting a Ballista for 2. Playing this here is pretty solid. I think I'm just going to hedge my bets here, guys, and play the sphere. It's not great. It really isn't. But, you know, if he keeps missing here, this is relevant. And we just need to draw lands. Much like my opponent was probably saying on the other side. Now they can certainly cantrip here. But yeah, that's good. We do have hope here. Like, we have the Ballista, and we are going to be able to cast it, but we actually need to be able to get land to do it. We really need a Workshop or an Academy. I'd take an Ancient Tomb as well. Tomb, Workshop, Academy is our best draws here. I think I'd take it. That's rough, man. Can't even do it. Oh, man. All right. This is definitely getting away from us here. I'm not going to cast the Ballista at 1. I need to be able to get him. He's going to continue to keep trying cantrip here. We just got to hope he dodges lands. Like, we floundered pretty good on lands here now. And if I do draw land, I probably... I mean, we'll see if he taps out or not, but I'm very open to setting this Chalice at 1, which is awesome. Okay, so my opponent has drawn another land, which is awesome for him. This could be another Mentor. Yeah, which is problematic. Land? Oh, come on. All right, guys, we're pretty much screwed now. Just one too many turns without a land. That's my fear with that sphere, right? Like, we would have been able to have the Chalice at 1, which would have at least been something, but now he's just going to go nuts on us, and I don't think we can get out of this. Like, if we draw a Workshop, maybe, or an Academy would possibly get us out. Like, we're really under the gun here now. I think we're going to have to suck it up and just chump block with my hanger back here. And he's just looking for lands. That's all he's after. He knows he has me. If he can keep producing mana. Like, I think our plan was solid here. But this was all under the pretense of being able to draw land. And I think we've gone 5 turns without drawing a land. We've had just ample opportunity to try and draw out of this. So it's unfortunate. I mean, this could just be a Mox here or something, and we're pretty much gone. Yeah, Taxing Probe, okay. But he's so far gone now, like, for me to be able to even do anything is just, like, drawing a Workshop here, I mean, does help, but... You know, he's got so many creatures now. Now that's game.